Hello everybody, it's Lisa. Welcome to my channel, Junk Journal Gems. I've got some good things to share today. I thought we'd take a little bit of a chat at first and then craft together a little bit. I've got some ideas for the next journal that I'm working on, but I first wanted to talk a little bit about yesterday because I'm overwhelmed. I'm emotional. So yesterday, Gail Augustinelli posted a very kind video. I had sent her a box of some items just to thank her for everything she does to teach other people, and just for all the things that I've learned from her and all the inspiration she has given. And she also just kind of gives me a little bravery, I guess, in doing our crafting. And I thought that that deserved some thanks and recognition. So she went above and beyond, and as Gail does, and so did all of you. I had the best day ever yesterday, and I hope I don't choke up in all of this, but I truly had the best day ever yesterday because you all just showered me with such wonderful, genuine, and encouraging compliments, and just the encouragement to continue with what I'm doing and to share my ideas with all of you. This for me is quite a leap. I don't normally share this whole crafting and making of journals, using journals and writing in journals is a very personal thing to me. So it kind of makes me feel like I'm leaving myself exposed a little bit, but you all have been just so kind. So I wanted to thank you for your words. Thank you for your purchases on my Etsy shop. I received orders for some custom journals. This journal I had already started, but someone now has already claimed it sight unseen. So wow, everybody, what a phenomenal community this is, and I can't thank you all enough. It's so super sweet. So before I start bawling again, I cried yesterday. Before I start again, I'm going to move on, and before I make a mess of myself. So I've got this sewing journal that I started working on that now someone who's a new subscriber is going to be purchasing for a friend. It's going to go to her, so I couldn't be more thrilled. But isn't she fancy? I hope you can see her okay. Let me bring her up closer to you. Isn't she fancy? I just love her. The back of this one, if you saw the video with Gail, sorry, I just bopped you. If you saw the video with Gail, I put this side, the back side of the pattern, on the back of that book. This book, I thought the fabric was just so gorgeous, and it went so nicely with the image of the lady that I thought that I would just leave this back with just the fabric. And I've got seam binding as the closure. I'll do something more I have an idea for. I'll probably use this Tim Holtz as a pocket on the inside. I'll set this aside for now or it's going to get on my nerves. But I started working on, and I have a really good start to the inside signatures. Hopefully I can do, the original plan was to do 3 signatures in it. We'll see how I do, because I never know when to stop. I can't stop myself. So she's getting a little chubby, but this is what I have so far. Here's a little journaling card where I put some of the pattern paper on. This paper here has a sewing theme to it. I had the same kind of pocket in Gail's journal, but this one, I got a little braver and they have a magnetized closure on it. The last time I used a magnet, here's a word of advice for you. Your sewing machine needle will not go through a magnet. Found that out the hard way. Scared the bejeezers out of me. But here's what the inside of that is. This is just a page out of a sewing book. I don't know. Let's make sure you can see that. It's just a page from a sewing book that I put some items in. Here's a tag that you can write on. And then in here, these are the same papers that I used in Gail's journal from Antique Papery. I just love them so much. Some coffee dyed papers, and I stenciled an image on here. I try to keep the theme or the feel of a journal to as much as I can, to the era of the pattern itself. So what I don't use with a 1950s pattern or 60s pattern is I wouldn't use ultra vintage images of antique sewing machines and that kind of thing, because it just doesn't go. This is a glassine, the homemade glassine that Nick the Booksmith taught us, that I just decoupaged a napkin on, and I stamped on a piece of muslin that I distressed and have a little snippet of lace behind that. More Greg shorthand. Gail said that she does Greg shorthand. I do shorthand too, but not the Greg method. I forget what the method is even that I learned, but that's a skill that nobody uses anymore, right? Another stamp on this page. Here's a page from a Woman's Day magazine. Does it say the year? Oh, 1961. But look at the early American furniture on here. Isn't that cool? Very cool. It even says here, early American furniture. Sorry if there's a glare. Coffee stain, doily, a page out of a sewing book that I have from, I think that sewing book though is from the late 30s or early 40s. I don't remember. Found this ad in a magazine that I had for Butterick Home Catalog, and I thought, well, that'd be a cool journaling card in itself. So I have that in a little pocket here. Some ledger paper, coffee stain ledger paper, another pocket here. Now, this is something cool that I wanted to show you guys. I actually have these in my Etsy shop, but they are, can you see that okay? These are iron-on transfers that I think were primarily used for doing embroidery years ago, but I got to playing around with these, and not only do they make something really kind of fun and different to journal on and write on, or you could even use these as, imagine stitching this in your book for a page, and then these can flip out. But here's the amazing discovery. I wondered if they would iron on paper. And they do. How cool is that? How cool is that? So my thought is that you can take these, and instead of stamping on your coffee stain paper, and this is a piece of coffee stain paper, you can do the iron-on transfer. And then, here's a mind bender. If any of you are proficient with stitching or embroidery, you could actually embroider on the paper, I'm thinking. I haven't gone that far with it yet, and it's been, gosh, I don't think I've embroidered since I was a child. But is that cool or what? So if you're wanting to try this, go on to my Etsy page. It's the same name. It's Junk Journal Gems, but of course when you go on Etsy and you search for a shop, It's all lowercase and all the words are together. Junk Journal Gems. Gems is with a G. So I thought that was super cool, and I can't wait to do something with that. You could collage with that. Actually, I have an idea for one of my custom orders with this. That's going to be super cool. Okay. Bing, bing, bing. Little light bulbs are going on. Bing, 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 bing. All right. So this is the rest of our little beaut here. Excuse me. Here's another collaged envelope made out of book paper. Have you all been watching Pam's series on the Paper Outpost? I think her name is Pam. She's been doing a whole series of ideas on what to do with book pages. So, some cool ideas. We're all such a clever bunch together. And here, this is just clipped on here. This is a collage piece again. Sewing machine or sewing book paper, sewing pattern paper, some fabric with the frayed edges, cheesecloth, and a piece off of scrapbook paper. And then here's just more collaged book paper on the back. So if somebody wants to journal on the back, they could. And then in the pocket, I just put a dictionary page that has some words about, I thought it had words about fashion. Am I dreaming it? Yeah, fashion. I feel like y'all can't see a doggone thing. I promise you guys, I'm working on my video quality. Right now, it leaves much to be desired. My oldest son went to school for videography, and I need to incorporate his assistance. This page is really cool. This is one of the antique papery pages. Look at those images. Aren't they pretty? Why don't we dress like that anymore? In a way, I'm glad. In a way, I'm kind of sad. This is a page out of the work basket. They're so fun. The images are just so cool. I thought this was hysterical. I had to put it in here. It says, I carried my groom over the threshold, then I lost 129 pounds. I better start going on my diet and exercise. I'm sadly lacking. If you watched the series that I did with the wax paper pieces, this is another, I think I showed this specific piece on there, so you can learn on look at my videos and you can learn how to use the wax sandwich bags to make a piece like this. Those are fun, and I'm all about texture. More decoupaging here. Looks like I scratched her. I'm gonna have to fix that. All right, so more papers. Here I really got crazy one night. I'm getting braver as I go along. But I made this pocket here. This one is really deep. This is just a folded book page that then I thought just with the book page itself was boring. So I took out my watercolors, and these are sparkly watercolors. You really can't see it sparkle on camera, but I've got orange and a gold color and a green here, and then put a flower made out of a book page and topped it off with another paper flower and a little crocheted flower here. So layers of texture is always fun. I showed that in my sandwich bag video. Okay, here's what my thought was on what we could do. Oh, I'll share this idea with you really quick. If ever you pull out a vintage page out of a magazine, you know, some of them are really pretty frail. And what you can do if you just want to be able to see some of the advertising or some of that page, but yet give it some strength, is all that I did on here is I took a coffee dyed doily and glued it to the page, and it gives it so much more strength. Otherwise it was really quite fragile. So to withstand the turning of the pages and the sewing in the signature, that really gives it some oomph. But here's what I thought we would do for our lovely sewing theme gal. Is I thought, let's see if I can zoom you in a little bit. Woo! I thought that we could work on a bingo card because I don't know why, but I'm thinking ladies of that era played bingo, right? So I thought it'd be kind of fun to collage on here, but leave the bingo card exposed. And then on the opposite side, someone can journal on that, right? Right. So let's see what we can do here. My thought was to layer this bad boy up a little bit. And again, we're working with the sewing themed journal. The wonderful thing about working with pattern paper is that you can still see through it. So when you put the bingo card behind it, I wouldn't cover the whole card with it, but when you put the bingo card behind it, you still can see through the pattern paper and then add more layers on top of it. But yet over on this side, we'll get this image of the hemline and the seam allowance on here. Or, you know, slide your piece that you're working with under your pattern paper to see what you like best. Maybe we'll take this here. You've got the sewing line here, a little ruler, and then some printing here to give it some dimension. Let's go with that. So I think what I'll do is let's I think what I'll do is we'll go like this. I want it offset so we've got some space to collage over here. And then I'm just going to totally cheat. I was thinking my fingernail, there we go. Thought my fingernail would just poke right under there. My thumbnail must be really weak or something. So then what we'll do is the great thing about this is you don't have to be precise. No need to be exact. And then we can just whip this out of the way. You could even layer multiple layers on. Whatever you want to do. It's a great thing about making journals is it's freeing, isn't it? Ooh. Ooh, was a little sticky. When I collage, I tend to set it in here and then sometimes I miss. Imagine that. Come on, Oohoo. Okay, we're good and oohooed up. I've got my sewing machine out here too, just in case we get the whim to sew on this bad boy also. I like it when it has some wrinkles on it, because whenever you use pattern paper, they're always wrinkly from the folds in there. And if you've sewn with a pattern before, you know that once you take that pattern paper out, there's no getting it back in there the way it came out. Just not happening. Where's my big scissors? Here we go. So I'm just going to trim up the edges of this a little bit. Icky sticky. You can clean that up later. Sometimes around an edge like this, when you've got something so thin, what you can do afterwards when it's dried is just take a nail file and rub it along the edges to get those little frays off. Most of you probably already know that trick. All right. See, isn't that cool? You can see it through there, but it just gives it a whole nother dimension. You know what? I'm gonna put that on there too. I'm feeling like I'm living on the edge today. And there's gonna be some people going, Lisa, you can just use water to tear it. I know, but that would take an extra second. That might kill me to take that extra second. Ooh, I like it like that. Ooh. We be needing you again. Ooh. cool. Oh, I like that. Gives it a real nice collage effect. Better cap this off. I've been known to not do that, and then I wonder why I don't have glue. Right? Sure, I can't be the only one. Okay, so there's our base. Now, what do we want to put over the top of the base? Would this be fun? This is a piece off seam binding. Sorry if I came at you kind of fast. And I think what I just might do is cut this piece off of here and then put it on there like that. That's what we're going to do because we're making quick decisions today. That was the worst cut ever. I appreciate you guys putting up with my poor video quality. Most of it's lighting, and where we live in a black walnut grove, basically. So there's, you know what, that needs some stressing. So there's a lot of shadows because we are in such a wooded area. Oh, I forgot to change my pad. It's got to be done. Drive me bananas. Oh, much better. A little more. Little more. Little more. There. Looks better. Can't be all brand spanking new and fresh. La. Better. I like it. I like it, like it, like it. This is a job for art glitter glue. I have a bad habit of sticking that in my mouth. And when I'm talking to all of you, it's fine when I'm crafting by myself, but if I'm on the video, on the YouTubes here, I can't be talking with a big old pin in my mouth. Oh, for heaven's sake. There we go. Okay. That goes there. Like it. I like it, like it, like it, like it. What else do I want to put on here? You know what else would be fun? Do I use this or not feeling that. That's going to be paper for the back. I think I'm feeling one of these flowers, and then that might be kind of it. Which one? Which one? I think this one. Let's see how good I do fussy cutting it today. Here I am way off camera, and you guys are yelling probably, Lisa, we can't see. No, it was a secret. This is a job for the little scissors. I don't know how fussy I want to get with the fussy. Okay. It's like I forgot y'all were there, isn't it? My husband is at work today. My youngest son is at school. Our oldest son is grown, doesn't live with us anymore. But wrestling practice starts today after school, and a fella that works with my husband, who was a really good wrestler in high school, I guess, is going to go help coach their team, which is just phenomenal. But there was a major panic in the household right before I started filming the video. Of course, just as I was getting ready to start filming the video, then oh God, do you not love that? That is terrific. I love it. I love it. So the guys, my husband wanted to loan this gentleman or give this gentleman his wrestling shoes because my husband doesn't coach anymore. He coached youth wrestling for, God, I think like 8 years. Well, the whole time my son was in youth. So for 8 years. And my husband has a metal plate in the back of his neck and given our ages has no business coaching wrestling anymore. So he was giving his shoes to this fella. Well, there's a major panic. We couldn't find the shoes. Well, it's because my son loaned them to a buddy of his who was without his shoes. So there's just not enough wrestling shoes in this house, evidently. Thought we had plenty. So, what do you think, you guys? This has to be shaped up a little bit, but I like it. It's so simple and quick and fun. Now, on the back of the card, I thought we would just go with one of these so you could write out the long way. And then what I will probably do, I'm not going to do it now because I forgot to change the thread in my machine, but I want to stitch around this, to zigzag around it. Now with the bingo up there, I think I'll probably do straight stitch, but with black thread. But let's put this on here. So where are we? Where do we need to be? I want to do an edge on here, so I think I'll cut it off down here. Let's see how straight I get today, because I usually get out my paper cutter. But I'm living on the edge today. There we go. Not too shabby. All right, that can go like that. And then let's get a little snippy right there. Don't you like when you can do crafts and things where it doesn't have to be an exact science? There we go. Okay. I think what I will do is, because people will be writing, someone will be writing on this. Did you see that? Oh my God. Because someone will be writing on this, I'm going to use the art glitter glue around the outside perimeter versus oohooing the entire back, because sometimes when you're writing that can get to be a little lumpy glumpy. And I journal myself, and I don't know, there's something when you journal about having just a nice relaxing writing experience. You know what I was thinking? Y'all should let me know what you think about this idea. I teach a class at work. I work full-time too. I just happen to be off today. But I teach a class at work about how to plan for success. It's about how to use a planner, how to select a different planner, and just kind of tips and tricks, and what journaling can do for you, and how you can use a journal / planner. If any of you would like to have me share my thoughts and experiences about journaling and planning and what I use my different journals and notebooks for, I'd be happy to do that. Just had that thought pop into my head right now. So this is our little bingo card. The outside edge, I don't know if I want to. I'll just do a little. I don't want to do the whole thing. Usually I'm all about it, but there's wonderful color to these old cards the way it is, and I don't think I need much more than that. Okay, so there she is. Here's our creation. What do you think about that? So just a quick little video today so that it gives you another idea of ways that you can use things in journals. This can go into, where is she? This can go into a text box. I kind of like that there. You know what? I kind of do. I might come back to that. Into a text spot or a pocket. See, it could go in a pocket like that. And that belly band was super cute though, wasn't it? You could clip it on. You could do, if this were a glued flip, you could like glue along the bottom too. You could tuck it down in there. Could bowl clip it on. Ooh, you could make this a flip. There's an idea too. It's endless. The skies are endless. The opportunities are endless to be cute in there too. I don't know. Too many choices. I'll have to figure that one out later. But there's our card for today. There's my ideas for today. I'm going to get out. I have these in my shop too. They're old Monopoly cards. And I'm going to make a couple of these into little journaling cards by putting some writing space on the back. And I thought that these are what these are. I have a whole stack of them. Then there's also the community chest cards and the chance cards. These have the date. Oh my God, my eyes are going, I think. I think the date is either 1934 or 1936. The first time I looked at it, I thought it said 1936. Maybe there's two different dates. But these would be fun in text spots too. So these are on my Etsy page, or my Etsy shop too. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you so much for yesterday. Keep tuning in, subscribe, like the video if you want to see more of this, or please share your thoughts about if there are certain things that you would like to see. Please let me know. Otherwise, we'll keep working on our sewing journal here, and then once this is done, I've got another journal that we're going to be working on as well. So we're going to be busy bees. Take care. Have a great day.